All right, and we are live. Welcome, guys. Welcome to another Sunday Stock Talk. Let me go ahead and share my link to our Learn to Earn team. First link in the description if you want to watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow. It is 100% free. There's about 300 spots left, and then after that, I will have to charge. But it is lifetime access, so you'll never be charged if you get in now. No monthly subscriptions. And yeah, you can watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow morning at market open. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about our week ahead. All right, markets are open overnight. Looks like they did drop again. They're slightly in the green from Friday's close, but not by much. Not by much. So we are going to talk about it. Hope you guys can hear me okay, see me okay. And I want to just welcome you all here to the live stream. We do this every Sunday night. Again, it's available to our Discord members, our Learn to Earn team, our Investing for Beginners community members, as well as you guys here on YouTube. So, yes, all right. I'm going to be breaking down a couple of stocks that I personally see value in. I'm also going to break down a couple stocks of your choice. So if you guys have a couple stock picks that you would like me to take a look at, by all means, leave your ticker symbol in the comment section. And again, you are more than welcome to join our Discord. It is 100% free, lifetime access to the first 1,000 members. We have about 300 spots left, and then I will charge. All right, so let's get right into it, guys. Overall markets are bearish. All right, we are seeing a bearish trend going on here. We do have some weekly economic calendar report that we share every single week. And yeah, did I even share it? It looks like I may have missed it. So let me go ahead and share it real quick to our team. Looks like I put out the alert for it, but then didn't actually post it. So that is my bad. There we go. That is now posted in our Discord, available to you all. So we do have a very small week, nothing too crazy on Monday or Tuesday. Wednesday, we got like General Mills in the morning. Wednesday after close, we have Micron, or ticker symbol MU. I'm very excited about that one. And then Thursday, we have Nike and FedEx after market close. So I am excited about those two this week. We also have Carnival on Friday, ticker symbol CCL. So we'll see what happens. Now you guys can have this available 24/7 in our Discord right here. Learn to Earn Discord under weekly economic calendars. I have tons and tons of them going back every single week. And yeah, welcome our new members to our Discord. Any of you who are new and just joining, we're getting tons of new members every single day. We are now up to 658 plus whatever 28 is. So I believe like 690. So we have 310 spots left for free, lifetime access. So get in now while it is free, because I will start charging. I'm thinking probably about $25 or so to start out, and then each time we cross over 1,000 new members, it'll go up by 25 points. So, you know, first 1,000 members, it's free. The second 1,000 members would be $25. The third tier, which would be in the 3,000 member range, would be $50, $75, $100, and so forth. Now it is 100. It is lifetime access, so even if you do have to pay later, it'll be a one-time fee. Okay, just to let you guys know that if you don't feel like joining now, but why not? It's free. Get in now. Okay, so moving on economic calendar has been reported. QQQ, again, slight drop overnight hours, nothing too crazy. I believe this would probably sell off even more. Now it's funny because we set our alert right around 611, so it's actually bounced right off of that support. It hasn't got any lower than $611, which is great. That's right where that EMA line is. I'm going to bring this down to about 617. So if we do see a spike up from QQQ, I would love to get into maybe TQQQ or other investments that would follow the market. Now, if the market sells off and we make lower lows as it's testing here, right? If we can't get above this 615, we could see this come back down to 600, to 590, to even 580s where it was back in the middle of November. Now, if it does sell off, I wouldn't mind trading SQQQ. It's about $70, but it is a triple leveraged inverse ETF. So if the markets sell off, you know, say 10%, this would or let's say 5%. If the market sold off 5%, this would actually go up 15%, right back up to those levels around $83. So not a bad move if you want to bet against the market. Now, overall, VIX index, again, when it's above 20, we see a lot more volatility. We also see more selling pressure in the markets, and right now VIX index is staying below 17, currently about 1574. So it's not above that 20 mark, but that doesn't necessarily mean the markets can't sell off even more. SPY also doing a great job holding at that 680 level, but again, look at this, bouncing off of that moving average here. We could see some more downward momentum, more selling pressure in the next week, right? It's definitely very possible. Now, Bitcoin real quick. I like to go over Bitcoin because there has been a drop in Bitcoin. As you can see here, there was a huge spike and rally from 89,000 up to 93. We actually traded this area right here. We wanted to see a dip below 82,000 and we had a huge red candle. We were able to trade this by buying MSTZ positions. And again, we did a great job by locking in profits on that short for MSTR. We did short MSTR when it broke below these levels, and we made some decent money doing so. As you can see here, MSTR or MSTZ popped up very nicely from $12.50, $13 all the way up to $14. So Bitcoin is selling off again. That seems to be the trend. Now, if it can't hold above 89,000, then this will sell off even more. It looks like it's had a low of about 87,690 in the overnight hours. I do have my alert set. I'm going to bring it down from that $89,000 level to 87. I'm also going to bring this alert down just right there where the moving average is, about 90,000. But over bigger picture, we've seen a huge downtrend with Bitcoin from highs of 126,000 for Bitcoin all the way down to 80,000. Now it seems to be struggling to even get above this moving average. Every time it gets close, it gets rejected. So I love to see that area here. We're going to go ahead and clear that. We are going to clear this. And it looks like that's kind of the trend line right now, between 89,000 and 94, 95,000, you could say almost. A very, you know, low horizontal pattern for Bitcoin in general. So I could see this selling off even more, but that doesn't mean we can't get a nice big rally off of this too. But I'm not really seeing it for Bitcoin right now. Okay. So that is that on that. Let's go ahead and talk about a couple of companies that I am watching for tomorrow. Now, I haven't looked at any of this. I'm getting on the charts right when you are. So we're going to find a couple setups right now with you on. Open, selling off. It looks like this horizontal pattern has finally faded away. Still a very big horizontal pattern in general, but at the same time, it's not holding up where it was before. It's actually made a lower low now. So it did not hold this $7 pattern. Okay, it's now below that pattern, which means we can honestly pull this down to that 650 mark where it's at currently, and that gives us a clear picture of where those support levels can be, where it bounces off, and ultimately where it kind of has that resistance where it can't make new highs. So open door, not necessarily something I'd want to trade right now. It is setting itself up for a nice rally, but it has gotten as low as $5.72. So we are going to put that into effect here as well for a support. And look, as you can see here, it's had a huge dip. Doesn't mean it can't go lower. It definitely can. I do have my alert set for it at 650, and we're going to bring this down to about man, I'd say probably have to be around $7 before we even consider it, right? Or even higher than that, maybe. Like breaking this moving average right here on the 30-minute. Yeah, I'd say about 708-ish, something like that. So Bull also just another company that has been selling off. It's a little bit overbought right now. When you look at a larger time frame, it is in that buy zone area, but it's struggling to maintain above this moving average right now. So it's not something I would really want to mess with at the moment. Sound, again, just stuck in this horizontal pattern. The moving average is finally catching up with it, and the last time the moving average was this low, it did have a nice spike up from $10 to $11, all the way up to $17 for sound, and then pushed all the way up to $22. Now, could we see another move like that? It's very possible, but it's not something I'd want to hold overnight for right now. A lot of consolidation within this blue and red zone. Now, if we can get a spike above this $13 resistance, then we could see some new highs. Even buying at 10 and 11 is a little too risky because it can always sell off more. Sound is a company, though, I have been watching for a while. I'd love to maybe get in, around $12 if it starts showing signs of upward momentum, because then that's even $1 per share, but right now it's just kind of flatlined. LUNR, we've called this out several times. It popped up. It went all the way up to $13. Now it's in those areas of selling. If you bought it $7, $8, $9, even $10, you'd be up significantly, as this is bouncing off of 13. Even currently just shy of $12 per share, but looks like it's starting to make its way back down. Beautiful horizontal pattern, 3 stages of reversal, identifying consolidation areas and those breakout points pretty clearly here on the chart. Love to see it, but it's just something that you either got in low and you're selling now, or you didn't, and now you just have to wait again for another setup. SoFi, not really liking SoFi that much. Just way too much consolidation right now at these low levels. So we'll see what happens here. Again, trading horizontally for like a day. If I take away this resistance level, you can see it's just kind of really choppy right now. But if you believe in SoFi, this could be a great area to buy right around $26, $27, shooting for that $30 to $32 price point or price target. Century Aluminum, we've been watching this one as well. Buying at 26, selling at 32 would have been the move. Now it looks like it's selling off. CMG, nice 3 stages of reversal playing out here. When we look at the daily, selling off from $69 all the way down to $29. Now, with a nice uptrend, I'd love to see this continue to push up, maybe retest this moving average of 45 bucks. But for right now, it's not something I would necessarily want to trade. But Chipotle looking decent, looking really decent. A lot of strong momentum to the upside. Intel trying to hold above that moving average, but again, that play would be from $32 to $44. That would have been the move. Nice 3 stages of reversal. You had your rejection period, you had some slight consolidation, and then it pushed up to those higher highs. So with that said, that's not necessarily an area that I would like to buy right now. But if we do see some signs of upward momentum, we could get a nice trade from $38 to $39 back up to those $44 levels. We got a comment here by Firewater Desire saying, I personally think most stocks will have a hell of a sell-off in the AM. I agree. I agree. I believe we're going to have a very red Monday. Looks like everything is setting up to sell off even more. I'm not looking at making any rash decisions or any long-term plays right now. I'm 100% cash. I don't have any investments. I'm not biased. I just like to follow the direction of the market. So if the market becomes bullish, great. I'll get into some TQQs or something else. If it begins to sell off, you already know I'm going to be getting into SQs. NVIDIA selling off as well from $212 all the way down to $169, trying to bounce. But again, I don't know if it will, right? It's looking good on the 1 hour, but not so good on any other level. Now, it has bounced off of 173 before, so keep that in mind, okay? Other than that, guys, I'll take a stock pick of your choice. This wasn't going to, I guess, not the longest live stream. I didn't even want to have to go over that many companies, but, you know, honestly, looking at the way things are, I probably won't make too many trades or buy into many positions right now. Everything looks like it is selling off. It's going to follow the market. Whatever happens, it's going to follow. And if QQQ, as you can see here, if it's going to catch more resistance at this moving average, we can see a pretty significant sell-off. Because that's been the whole deal the last few days. A lot of consolidation, kind of flatlined with this horizontal pattern, and then a huge red day on Friday, which could continue on into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Again, I wouldn't mind trading SQQQ. The thing is with SQQQ though is if the market does recover even 1%, you can easily lose 3% on this trade. So say the market recovers, you buy SQs at 70, market recovers 1%, you're down 3%. The market recovers 2%, you're down 6%. Market recovers 3%, you're down 9 or 10%. Okay, so be very careful with what you buy tomorrow because, again, it could happen either way, right? We could all think that it's going to sell off and it can recover. We could think it's going to recover and it could sell off. So direction is going to be your most important, I guess, the most important thing to be looking at tomorrow is direction. We want to make direction is in our favor. If this wants to sell off, great. If it loses 611 from Friday's low, then we could see some more selling pressure, right? If it can get above this moving average, then we might be able to see a nice spike above 615. But for right now, again, it's just not looking too good. All right. You guys have any stocks you want me to take a look at? Go ahead and hit the put the ticker symbol in the comments, and I will review them for you. Overall, though, we're gonna have a great trading day this week. We're still gonna show up whether the markets are bullish, bearish, whether they're gonna go up or down. You can guarantee I'll still be live streaming my day trading sessions at market open. Market opens at 7:30 my time. But in general, whatever time the market opens in your area, subscribe to the channel. You'll get a notification. Actually, you won't because we don't publicly trade live anymore. It's only for our LTE members. You could join our free Discord. It is the first link in the description, first pinned comment in the comment section. That'll give you 100% free access lifetime, right? So if I ever do charge for this content or for this, I guess, community, then you won't be charged. So get in now that it is free. Firewater Desire, can you go over NVIDIA? I know there's not much to see until we get some pre-market data. NVIDIA is looking really good. I really like the way it's set up. I've been tracking NVIDIA for quite some time. You know, there's still possibility for it to pull back to the moving average, even go below the moving average as it has done that before. But looking at a daily time frame, you know, I would consider buying anywhere between 150 to potentially $175 if you're trying to average in. Now again, this can sell off to 150. It can go below that. But on the daily, it's looking like I'd rather buy on these lows and hold for those highs than buying up at 212 like some of the bag holders have. Now, looking at a 4-hour time frame, you can see a lot of consolidation between 164 and I'd say 183. So that's another possibility. And then recently, I'm kind of liking this level here, right? We've had some bounces around 176. We've had a couple of bounces off of support at around 173. And it looks like it's trying to push up as well. It bounced at 174.62 on Friday, trying to push up. So, in my opinion, maybe you get a short-lived move up, getting $4 or $5 move bullish. It could be a bull trap. We could see it go up 1 or 2 points and then come back down. But right now, on the overnight hours, it's looking like it bounced off of 174.62. So, I mean, that's something. If it gets rejected off of this 177 level on the 5-minute, then we could see some more downtrend. If we can get above that 177, then we could probably see a little bit more bullishness on that level as well. But yeah, right now, it just looks like a lot of consolidation. It's an AI company, it's a microchip company. And, that's really all I can say about that. But catching our support at around 170s, resistance at, I'd say more, there's probably more resistance at 184 now than those highs of 212. You guys see that right there? Like 184-ish, 183.50. You're seeing a lot more resistance right there, a lot more choppiness. It seems to hit those levels and then get rejected pretty easily. So that's something to take into consideration as well. IWM. All right, let's check out the Russell. The Russell 200. I mean, same thing, guys. Same thing as the SPY. Same thing as Invesco or the overall NASDAQ. I mean, if it can't hold above these levels, then we can see some more selling pressure down to some lower lows. I'm liking the bounce right now at that 253, 254 level. Again, we could see this push up a little bit and then get rejected, or we could see this just completely get wrecked. So it's all going to matter about price action tomorrow, which way the overall market is going to go. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. For sure, man. For sure. I'd love to know if you guys have any more companies you want me to take a look at. I am available a little bit longer here. And don't forget to check out that Discord, guys. Free. I know we have a lot of community members on right now. So definitely check that out. Thank you. I greatly appreciate you. Every time you are what others are not. Every time you are what others are not, flashy and not seemingly humble, then you're doing a good job. Hey, well, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'm just here trying to provide some education and what I'm looking at. I'm trying to provide, simple, easy to understand answers. I'm all about direction, though. If the market's selling off, I'm going to short the market by trading SQQQ. Or last week on Friday, I shorted Bitcoin by going against MSTR. Of course, everyone knows MSTR, micro strategies. I like to call it micro tragedy. But Michael Saylor, he's in trouble. If Bitcoin drops below 75,000, he's basically back to his average price per share. I think he has an average price on Bitcoin of around 73,000 now, buying at those all-time highs. So if that fails, what do you think Michael Saylor's going to do? He's either going to try to buy more with borrowed money, or he's going to have to start selling even more at the price that he paid for. So I'm actually excited to see what happens with Bitcoin. But we shorted Bitcoin. We made some decent money last week. You can watch those live streams. Friday was a great live stream. You could watch it in the Discord. All my past live streams, they're there for you. It's 100% free. Check them out. And again, I'm all about price and price action, direction, and support and resistance levels. So I'm a range trader. I like to buy at support, sell at resistance. I also just like direction. So, if we take, for example, real quick, going off of this, let's just take LUNR, right? Because we've been talking about LUNR. So this was a very choppy day, right? I wouldn't want to trade this day, but I wouldn't mind trading Thursday. It's very choppy between these moving averages. Now, it went above this moving average here, this green line and the blue line. That's a 200-day moving average and a 45-day exponential moving average. The point is, buying when it shows confirmation. So it went above it, it got rejected, it came back up and retested it. That retest right there showed support and validation that this was going to push up. So buying at $12, would have been a perfect setup, and you would have rode this all the way up above this 45 EMA. You could have sold anywhere in between this level, 12, 1250, 1260, and made a 6% profit, almost $1 per share. You have 100 shares, that's almost $100. You have 1,000 shares, that's $1,000. Or you could have waited till the following day where I had a resistance level at $12.80. Now it's had this resistance level before. If we were to zoom out on the 4-hour time frame, what do you guys see? I see 3 stages of reversal, and we talk about this a lot. We talk about how at resistance levels it gets rejected, and you don't buy in this rejection period. You wait for it to consolidate. It stops making lower lows, it bounces off of support, and then when it begins to rise up, that's when you start loading up your position and you're holding it. You could hold it for days, you could hold it for weeks, months, until that trade confirmation is validated. Once it's validated again, you can sell at that resistance level, wait for it to sell off, and check it out. It bounced right off of those levels again. Bounced right off of that 825. Now, I did dip a little lower than 825. Had some consolidation, and then ripped back up to $13. So there you go. I mean, that was a very simple trade setup. Buying at a low, selling at a high. That would have been a 51% profit. And we're not talking in weeks or months or years. We're talking in 20 days. In 20 days, you could have made 50% profit. Now, we're not the best trader, right? Not going to be the perfect trade. Maybe you're waiting for that breakout. You're breaking out, you're buying at, say, 10.20, 10.14, and you're selling maybe around here somewhere. You're still making 15, 20, 22% profit, and we're talking in less than a week. Okay, 20% profit in 7 days, guys. And it's all about range trading, breakout trading, following the trend. I don't want to trade against the trend, I want to follow the trend. And this would have been a great play right here. A lot of consolidation, retested at 10s, sell at 11.70, making a buck or two per share. So, yeah. Little rant right there for you, but that's just kind of gives you an inside look at how I trade and what I do that I'm finding success in. Goldman Sachs and AMD, you got any insights on those guys at the bell tomorrow? WULF, Campbell's Soup, a laughing emoji. Thanks for calling those. Yeah, I'll look at let's see, Goldman Sachs. Is that a ticker? Do you have a ticker for Goldman Sachs? Is that a future? Let me know. Let me know if you have a ticker symbol for Goldman Sachs, and we'll go ahead and look at AMD. I did have AMD on my watch list previously. It's something that I've watched for, years, honestly. It's something that I've traded, and it looks like even more recently, I took a trade on it back in, what is this, October, buying this support here at around 207, selling around 240s. So making $40 per share, not a bad move. But I haven't actually traded it in a while. Looks like it has a lot of resistance around 260s. Trying to find some support around 207. I put 207 because it looks like it's had some resistance around that level. but I believe this is still kind of trading in like a horizontal pattern. As you can see here, if I were to do this and just kind of block out that part right there, you can see it's had resistance at right around 225, almost perfectly off of 225. It's had some resistance. It's not even holding that short-term support anymore. And it looks like it could break as far as, even $200. So $200 could be another pretty significant support level. We're going to go ahead and draw a line there for $200. And guys, if you like the WEBULL platform, you can definitely sign up with the link in the description and get free shares when you sign up. If it's your first time using WEBULL, you'll get free shares. I'll get a couple free shares for you using my referral link. But it's a really easy to use platform. I like it. I remember starting with like TD Ameritrade back in the day using the Thinkorswim platform, so it's a lot similar to that. I've also used Robinhood app to trade, and Moomoo recently. I've used Moomoo. Not too bad. I don't really care for Moomoo that much, but I really do like WEBULL. I've been using it for years now, and it's definitely a platform you can trust. So yeah, AMD, kind of the same situation. It is a microchip company, so we could see some more downside to this as well. This is actually looking a little worse than NVIDIA, right? Because this can come all the way down to 155 from those $200 levels. Still, it can get this gap fill. Can you see where this gap from 171 to 203? We still haven't had any gap fill with this yet, so that could be something that could come soon. Because NVIDIA, same thing with NVIDIA, guys. We can see NVIDIA drop significantly as well from 175 down to 155 levels. So about a $20 move for NVIDIA compared to AMD. I think that was a 50-point move. 210 to 150. Yeah, so about a 50 or 60-point move. Doesn't mean it has to go that low, but I believe it's definitely overhyped. Just being at $267 at one point and then coming all the way back down to 207. I mean, this thing traded in 150 range and 180 range for a long time before it had a huge gap up. I remember that day back in October. We talked about it on the channel with our LTE team. This 30-point, almost 40 points move, 40% in one day, guys. It went up $62 in a single day. That would have been a day for investors. But now it looks like it's almost giving it all back. It's coming all the way back down to 207. Goldman Sachs, he meant. Goldman Sachs. Okay. Yeah. Well, let me know what the ticker is because I'm putting it in. Gold. You got Goldman Sachs. It looks like there's a few of them. Yeah, let me know the specific ticker that you want me to do, and I can take a look at it for you. Because there is several of them. It's not something I've actually tracked before in the past. WULF. TeraWulf. Okay, I think I remember TeraWulf from a while back. Yeah, it's a penny stock company. I mean, penny stock companies can do well. Obviously, it's pushed up substantially. It could have a bounce off of this moving average. That's why I like moving averages, because they do tell a pretty picture here, right? Finding support above that moving average for quite some time. As the moving average rose, stock price rose with it, and then once it's below that moving average, sometimes it has a hard time getting above it, because just like the moving average can act as a support, it can also act as a resistance. So when it's above it, that's great. We're seeing more bullishness, more buyers stepping in. But if it gets below this moving average, we can get some very hardcore major sell-offs. So with that said, this could be definitely an area of interest. If you were to do a long position on it, maybe you have a 1 or 2% stop loss to try to get back up to some of these previous highs. Risking 1 or 2% to make 10 or 12%, that's a decent ROI. right? That's a decent RR, risk to reward. Doesn't mean it necessarily has to play out like that. Due to this volatility of the company, if it gets below that moving average, I mean, you can see if you don't have a great stop loss, you could see a substantial more selling pressure, right? You could see a 20% sell off. So you got to ask yourself, would you, one, make sure you're trading a plan? Would you have a stop loss at moving average? Or would you continue to lower your moving average as this sold off? Would you be comfortable losing 20% on your position if you did sell down at these levels to make 13%? Probably not. So, it's probably best to wait for WULF to see if this does bounce. We can get a pretty interesting bounce off of this as well. And it's probably not going to be just a V, it's not just going to be a perfect check mark where it sells off and it bounces right off of this and goes right back up. I mean, in a perfect world, we'd love to see that. But it could look more like this, right? It could look more like it bounces, maybe it goes up, maybe it trickles a little bit, maybe it even goes down a little bit, and then we get that nice big move up. So it could happen. It could also just sell off. Just know that too. It could bounce. You might think it's bullish. It comes up and tests this moving average, and then boom, just a major sell off. All right, so it's always good to manage your risk and have a stop loss. Oh, damn, I never knew that they had that many for Goldman. Yeah, again, that's why I like to ask for ticker symbols. They have Goldman Sachs India. They have GVUS. That's the Goldman Sachs Market Russell, Goldman Sachs Growth Opportunity, Goldman Sachs Value Opportunity. They have a Goldman Sachs Core Bond. And I'm not familiar with it enough to, actually know which one you're talking about. Maybe this one, Goldman Sachs Market Russell Large Cap Value Eco ETF. I don't know. I don't really know. Maybe I can Google it real quick. Let's see. Goldman Sachs ticker. GS. Okay, GS. Let's take a look at GS. Goldman Sachs Group Inc. I found it. I found it for you guys. Okay. Wow, very interesting. So same basic setup that we're seeing, right? We're seeing it following that moving average. It looks like it's following closely to the NASDAQ market or to the S&P 500 or the Russell, right? They all pretty much have that same movement. Very bullish. Looks like it caught some resistance at 919. Now, 919 can be a pretty solid resistance. It looks like it's tested this level multiple times. Whether it got above it or slightly below it, 919.10 was the high. Looks like it's trying to catch some support right around that, what is that, 887, 887.03. So looks like it's trying to find some support. Now it has bounced on this support before, but it looks like it's also getting rejected off of this 45 EMA. That's why I love moving averages. Moving averages tell a very pretty picture. When it's above the moving average, it's bullish. Every time it gets close to it, it bounces up, comes back down, another bounce, comes back down, another bounce. Well, now, after these bounces, it's getting rejected, it's below the moving average, and now we can see bounces on the downside. So we can either come down to this 887 support and catch another bounce to some new highs, or it can get rejected, break this 887 support, come down to 866, 870, because this moving average is going to move as well. I've done it in the past where I'll just kind of draw a line like this. If it maintains this same moving average, then we can see that it'll eventually go up, 870s, 875, 880, 887. And that's when you can get some very interesting moves. So you're wanting to buy, weeks ago, you'd want to buy as close to the 45 EMA as possible. Now, if it doesn't hold, you're going to want to buy as close to the 200-day moving average as possible. Again, buying above the moving average, it acts as a support. But as soon as it is below that moving average, it acts as resistance, and we can get some major, major selling pressure. And it could take days, if not weeks, for it to get back above that green line. Okay, so I want you guys to be aware of that. Great call out, great ticker symbol. GS is the ticker. Nice. Yep, we found it. We found it for you, my brother. All right, so with that said, what else do you guys got for me? Huh? What else do you guys got? Anything else? Looks like we covered pretty much everything. Let's go ahead and look at QQQ because that's something that I usually track. Doesn't look like it's moving very much, right? I got my alert set. If it breaks 611, we're going to see more selling pressure. If it gets above 616, we'll get some more buying pressure. And again, I'm going to be looking at potentially buying TQs if the market goes up. But if the market begins to sell off, I'm just going to buy some SQs. Because this has potential to move. If the market sells off 2% tomorrow, I can make 6%. Which would be close to $4 to $5 per share. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. All right, all right, all right. Any more ticker symbols or anything for me, guys? Let's see. How long have we been going live for? We have been live for 41 minutes. So that's pretty cool. I was going to end this live stream at the 15, 20-minute mark. Usually I go live for about 30 minutes. So yeah, thanks for participating. Thanks for asking some questions and calling out some ticker symbols for us. We will definitely be going live tomorrow at market open, so you can actually get an inside look at how I trade, my trading style, how I average into positions, how I manage my risk if they go against me, and get a better insight on how I trade. Maybe you take away a few tips and tricks, and we go from there, guys. Remember, the Discord is 100% free for the next 300 spots. There's about 300 spots left. Once we cross over 1,000 Learn to Earn members, I will start charging probably around $25, and it'll be a one-time fee for lifetime access. As those tiers go up, as we cross over 2,000 members, 3,000 members, 4,000 members, it's going to get more and more expensive to get into this lifetime access community. Right now it's 100% free, so you might as well join. First link in the description, have lifetime access. I appreciate your guys' time. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your Sunday. I'm going to go hang out with my family now and do something fun to end the weekend and get our minds right for the week ahead. And remember, let's end the year on a green note. There's no reason to force a trade. There's no reason to blow an account because you're biased, because you think the market has to sell off, because you think the market has to go up. The market doesn't care how we feel, right? We want to react to the market. If the market sells off and you're a long position, let's wait for that trade setup to take effect. If you want to short the market, you cannot be scared to cut your losses if the market begins to recover and skyrocket. I've seen it many times. I've shorted SQQQ. I've shorted the market using SQQQ, and then it goes completely against me and I lose 5-10%. Okay, so there's no point in being biased. The market's going to do whatever it does. We're just here to identify the direction it's taking for the day and take the opportunities and lock in those profits when we can. So hope you guys all have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you all in the morning for that live stream. Thanks, guys, and have a great day. Smash that thumbs up, that like button for me. Later.